Some people are loud, some people are quiet, but sometimes the quiet ones think the deepest. This episode of Tere with Abdul, I'm sitting down with my cousin, Umar Alhassan, also known as Hussein. He's an anime lover, gamer, a Weeknd fan, and a sociology graduate from AB Zaria, talking about life as an introvert, gaming culture, anime lessons, society today, and most importantly, how quiet people view or actually see the world. Trust me, this is different. New episode dropping soon. This is Tere with Abdul, where real conversation happens when the world is asleep. Shit. This is Tere with Abdul, where real conversation happens when the world is asleep. Back to Tere with Abdul. Today's episode is special because I'm sitting with my family, my cousin, Umar Alhassan, but we call him Hussein. So I'm going to be calling him Hussein throughout the podcast. That's the name that we're all familiar with. So Husseini. So Husseini, welcome to Train with Abdul.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
Okay, just like you guys have known from the promo video that he's a very, maybe I've not said it, but Hussein is a very smart, intelligent person. And I've told you guys that he loves anime, he loves playing games, and in general, he's a very quiet person and introvert, if I would call him that. So we have different segments for the podcast, just like as usual. I'm going to start, or I want us to start with, let's get to know Husseini more. I want our audience to know you more. It's like, I don't know what's happening in your background.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a little bit noisy.
How about now?
Okay, yeah, it's more stable now. So, who's boy? And we call
Now,
him who's boy too. How would you describe yourself to someone who doesn't know you?
that's wow. That's a very deep question to start with.
Okay. So just take your time, think about it. If it's anything that pops up to your head, I want you to feel more comfortable. Just like it's just me and you talking. Just for somebody that doesn't know you, how would you describe yourself? What do you like and what are you? Just a little bit about yourself. And yeah, let's take it that way. A little bit about yourself.
Okay, I will say I'm someone that is a bit skeptical at first impressions. Like when I first meet someone initially,
Okay.
I just kind of observe you and how you relate, and
Okay.
then the more we interact with each other, and then I can decide, okay, maybe this person I can, like, can I use like 18 plus words?
You
Let me
can
think
use
now.
you can use anything. You can use
Um,
anything.
so I try to see if I can fuck with this person or not, and
Okay.
depending on that, how I observe your behaviorisms and all that, then we can relate. But if I don't view you that way, you might then take me maybe like an introvert or someone that doesn't talk a lot. But first impressions basically to me matter. If we like, or sometimes rather, if I'm getting to know you through someone that I know, and I
Yeah.
realize yes, this person is a cool person, and you
Yeah.
are this person's friends.
Yeah.
Sometimes I might assume yes, this person is a good judge of character. So if you guys are friends, I'm willing to. So getting to know
And
me, you probably think I'm a bit distant or something like that. But
for
then
sure.
over time, I'm assuming it's like that for everybody and
It's
most
like
people. But yeah,
yeah, it's like that for me too. But go on.
over time, you start seeing more and more of me, and I guess you can see the actual me or something like that.
Okay. So you are that type of person that usually lay back at first. You're not you're not that lousy or hey,
No,
I'm
I'm not.
here, I'm
I'm not.
here. Yeah, I understand. You're just calm, a little bit chill than usual because just like you guys know, since my cousin, I wouldn't say that I would say that it's since when we started the picnic of that family get together that I was like, oh, this is how you really are. But usually when we come back from Jigawa, like you're it's either you're not there or when you're there, you're a little bit quiet. You and Farouk actually go along, my brother Farouk, and they are kind of the same, but so and they relate more to each other. He likes playing game. He likes watching anime too. And me, at the other hand, I just like playing game. And the game that I actually like playing, it's FIFA or PS. It's only about sports. But with them, they have different, maybe Call of Duty, game of what they used to call this. I've even forgotten. So all those adventure games, they like it, and they're a little bit um quiet, will I say? Farouk, like my brother now, and you too. You guys used to always stay in your room. Yeah, I know that. I don't know how to put it, but sure, just like I was saying, I got to know you more and relate to you more and vibe with you more when we started all this outing, and I think that's the beauty about the outing, that we get to know each other, see different side of the family, see different side or different personality of our brothers and sisters. Growing up, were you always quiet or did it change with time?
I would say I've not been very quiet. I've been quiet, but not very quiet. But you know, in households where in my kind of households where there's like a whole lot of people and siblings, and we are like a lot from different wives and all that,
Yeah.
and there's, let's say, significant age gaps between the siblings, you will notice the last one, like me, end up like not having a lot of, how should I put it,
Yes, yes.
being able to relate with any of the other siblings, haka.
Yeah,
So over time, I just kind of started to just vibe more with myself because my twin sister, she's a girl, so we can't.
yeah.
There are places where we are going to not be able to like relate
Relate.
or be. So I just at some point enjoyed more of my own personal time like that, and that's how I just stay to myself. I started staying more to myself.
Yeah, it actually makes sense now that you just highlighted something that I've never thought of it like that, being the last born. And you have brothers the age gap is much. So it's a little bit difficult for you to like vibe with them, just like you would like to do with someone that's at your own age. And so it's kind of makes sense. And I know that to our audience out there, they will relate to the last ones out there, they will relate. So that was how it started. So do you enjoy being alone? Or you just like you said, got used to it? Or maybe after you got used to it, you started to enjoy it a bit?
Yeah, I started to enjoy it a lot. Like I actually sometimes, if I'm being very honest,
Yeah.
I can go like when I was in school and I stayed off key.
Okay.
I had my coursemate who was my friend living next door, and
Okay.
sometimes I think after like 2 3 days they'll come and bang on my door, asking if I'm still alive or if I'm no longer there because I can just be there and probably just go to mocks or do very minimal
Yeah,
outings.
I
Yes, I do
understand.
enjoy I enjoy my alone time just in peace and quiet.
Hmm. So, and doing when you're what do you used to do when you're alone? Are you the one that usually used to think a lot, or you have activities in place that you don't usually used to think like that to the extent that I don't know that it will affect you?
Honestly, it's a bit of both.
But
I
okay,
sometimes think I might even overthink, and sometimes I'm just what's it called, doom scrolling. I'm just TikToking, YouTubing, chatting, or whatever, or
okay.
watching anime or playing games with friends or something like that. Or
Hmm.
sometimes I'm just reading novels, or there are a lot of things you
Things
can
that
I
you
do.
can do. Okay. So what do you think? Do people usually misunderstand quiet people or people like you that used to just enjoy your space? Do you think they misunderstand? And have you ever had an encounter with person or with some people that used to call you, oh, this guy's a weirdo, something like that?
I wouldn't say weirdo per se, but I think yes, quiet people are completely misunderstood. If you don't talk much, they assume yes, you are an introvert or you are a quiet person or whatever. So when
Mm.
they start getting to know you, and then that first impression or that initial impression of that they had of you
Yeah, we
disappears,
change.
they start like, yeah, they will say things like, oh, so this guy used to talk. Oh, actually, this is how this guy is. Oh, and then they can even make you feel bad for being yourself because you
Mm.
didn't like continue playing that initial impression that they had of you.
But you know that most of the people usually used to crumble because they don't have that experience with socializing with people more. Just like they can make you easily change your mind. You know how manipulative human beings can be. So how did you handle people that are trying to maybe change the way you think, or like just like you said, what you are doing is not cool. Like why won't you try this thing? Like how do you handle people like that? And do you feel like you used to stand up for yourself?
Yeah, I would say I do because honestly, for us to be friends and everybody that the most people that I have in my friend circle right now,
Yeah.
we have like things in common, or the way we think, or something along those lines. And
Okay.
me personally, I will always respect people's preferences. Like if this is your preference, it's 100% cool. But I always have issue when people try to like force what they think or their preference or whatever on other people, trying to make it like, if you don't like this, you're a weirdo. Especially like football. Now I don't watch football. I play
Okay.
football. I play
Okay.
FIFA. I
Okay.
follow football news. But to actually sit down and watch
To
like
watch the
90
football.
full minutes of football, I do not do that. And some will say you're a princess, some will say you're not a guy, some will. And honestly, I genuinely just do not give a fuck.
About
I don't know.
football.
Sorry if I'm using language, but yeah, people
Okay.
will always try to define you with whatever they have in their heads, and ultimately, you should just do what you want or do it in your mind, basically.
Yeah, I understand. And I know you that you don't used to watch football. Like it's actually, how would I put it? Yeah, I know that you don't used to watch football, and none of your brothers do, except your elders or your elder brother. So it's kind of, and we've never talked about it, but I know that you play games and you go and train too. So that's really nice. And for what would I say about it? One thing I like about people are people who stand up for themselves, people that like doing what they like doing, no matter what people, no matter what the outside world will say, and you're one of those people. So keep being yourself, and yeah, that's what I can say. So going back to your school, we know that you graduated from AB Zaria with a bachelor's degree on sociology. So what is it about, or what made you choose AB Zaria out of all the university as a Niger Light? What took you to Zaria, and why do you choose AB Zaria?
Honestly, I don't have any novel reason to give. I
Okay.
just didn't want to. Well, I was an art student, and here in Niger already, outside IBB, all we have is all we had at the time was FUT, which is a science school.
Yeah.
So I never really was a fan of IBB. So
Oh,
I was thinking, okay, even if I'm going to go out to school somewhere like far from home now, it's either I had Usman Danfodio University or
Sokoto.
ABU Zaria
Mm-hmm.
in mind. I then thought, okay, ABU is where most of my siblings graduated, and we also have some family members there. And I have a bit more feeling of familiarity with ABU,
Yeah,
even though I've never really been there like that. I
yeah,
still just it feels more familiar to me rather than Usman Danfodio, because my immediate senior brother
yeah,
Alhassan, he did Usman Danfodio, and from what I heard back then, it was just a very, how should I put it, all these complaints about hate and the way he used to
yeah. From
describe his
Sokoto.
adventure there.
Mm,
Yes, he would describe how he took the bus and all that, and it just didn't really, what's it called? There was nothing that piqued my interest.
yeah, okay.
But and also ABU, I'm not sure about now, but at the time ABU was a university that could boast about having standards, like
Yeah,
their admission process, their teaching, their exams, their tests, their grading, everything. It
yeah,
was a bit above the normal universities, and that is why you see people find it difficult to
gets into the
gain
university.
admission, and even if they get into it, there is a lot of competition in whatever department. Well, depending on the
Yeah,
department you choose, but yes, there is competition to even get to graduate. As a graduate, I know a couple of people that actually could not graduate it was, even though people think sociology is easy. Reasons why.
hello, can
Hello.
you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Anyway,
Yeah,
I said
yeah,
that's one of the reasons why I like the idea of ABU.
ABU. So, you just mentioned, or we know that you study sociology. Growing up, was sociology the course that you wanted to study, or is there a different story behind you choosing sociology?
To start off, I did not choose sociology. In fact, I was never intended to be an art student.
Wow.
But again, growing up, I was just kind of doing things on shall I say vibes and inshallah. I
Okay,
think it was in my school back then, my pa schools, and in my pa college rather. There
okay,
was this pre SS1 that we will do. It's like a class between JS3 and SS1. So
okay.
basically, the idea of the class was for us to do both science courses and art courses.
Mm,
So so we can then decide or get
wow.
to have an idea of what because once you cross over from you leave basic tech and basic science and all those things, and then you
All
cross over
those
to
things.
physics, chemistry. So that's like
Yeah.
an introductory phase.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
So initially I was very, very interested in being a pilot. I know 100,000 Nigerians also there, but then yeah, I was actually very interested in it. But
In being a
honestly,
pilot.
upon getting to that, yes,
Okay, wow.
upon getting to that pre SS1, and then I saw that yes, science is actually looking going to stress me. I'm like, law is a very nice course, and people have already told me like a couple of times that I'll make a good lawyer, and I also thought that to an extent. So I decided
Okay.
to just switch to art, and yes, I applied for law at ABU, but then they did not give me the law, and then they gave me sociology instead.
Okay. So they give you sociology. That was how it all came about. So what is one thing sociology taught you about society that shocked you?
Honestly, I wouldn't say it shocked me or it shook
Okay.
me, but it's those type of obvious facts are the very obvious, not very obvious, but obvious that unless someone says it to you, you'll never really
Hmm.
like think
Thought
about
about
it.
it. Oh, okay. Or come on.
Exactly.
Okay.
Like let's say the way someone said the law of gravity, if you throw something up, it will always come down, and then gives you an explanation for it, and you're like, oh wow, crazy. Like you know
Hmm.
it, but you just never thought about it deeply.
Yeah.
And that is from sociology. What they taught me was, I mean, what I got to understand after all the time I spent there was
Okay.
ultimately individuals in the society
Hmm.
are subject to the
Okay.
wishes or whims of the society. I don't know if that makes sense. Let's say, for example, now
All right.
the way we see the society basically gets to decide all this idea of morality, what is good and what is bad.
Hmm.
Ultimately, if we are to leave things like religion and the likes aside,
Yeah.
ultimately it is society that decides what is good and what is bad. And
Sure.
if an individual does something, whether it is good or bad,
Mm-hmm.
but the society decides that okay, this is not something that we like, this is they tag it as bad or evil or whatever, you
Okay.
can actually be condemned for it and you will end up being jailed or whatever because the society decides it. Whether
Yeah.
your logic or morality or whatever
Yeah.
believes that yes, this is a very good act. Ultimately, and an example is how we see people getting cancelled. Like let's say a celebrity now,
Yeah.
maybe he was passing by a little kid tried to take a photograph and then he pushed the kid aside, and then you see people on the social media say, okay, let's get this guy cancelled, and then they like start reporting his account
Hmm.
or whatever and all that, and then you actually later see that they in fact got that person what's it called? The account banned, the celebrity will lose partnerships, sponsorships,
Yeah. Yeah.
and they
Yeah.
can actually like look you ruin a person's life.
For
Is it
sure.
that he pushed the kid aggressively or anything? Not necessarily. Let's just say the kid rushed him and maybe he might have panicked and pushed the kid like for personal space. At
Yeah.
least from his POV, he did something like normal, but society decided that okay, this is inhumane or this is wrong or whatever, and actually they managed to get him cancelled. So yes, to summarize, that's one of the
That's
important things I
one of the
learned
important
from
things.
sociology.
That's really nice. Just like you explained, I think our viewers are going to take a lot from this. So from your own view of society in general, do you think social media is helping or damaging human relationships?
In this Gen Z,
Yeah.
honestly, nah, it's very detrimental right now in more ways than one. That's
Okay.
just what I will say.
Yeah.
It's it's useful. Actually, I would say honestly, days of to go, days of Facebook, days of
Yeah.
WhatsApp where there was no posting of stitches or anything.
Yeah.
If I could go back to those days, I will actually go back. Days where Instagram was just for posts and pictures, nothing like stories. Those were the
Mm.
simple days where
Yeah.
there was no TikTok. I feel like
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
part of social media was actually very useful to society, and we it was very effective. But today, honestly, I can't say 100%. It has its pros, but it also has its cons.
Mm. So like just like what you said, I saw a trend. I think it was day before yesterday on X, formerly Twitter, that life before 2019 downwards was really, really good. So anything from 2020 till date is bad because that was when everything was kind of new. WhatsApp, Facebooks, all those things were not as advanced as it was now because from my own experience, the more we go, the more we advance into AI, the more dangerous it is for us. We have access to so many things that it's so difficult for us to control ourselves because just like you said, it has its own good and bad sides. So it's all left for you as a human being to decide what you are going to do with it. But we all know how the world is. We are always driven to that negative part, which is very sad. So what's your plan now going forward as you are done like educationally or in life now that you are done with your degree? What's the plan for Hussein?
Well, I before I even graduated, I started learning web development, and I learned like HTML. You know, there is HTML, there is CSS, there is JavaScript, Python, and
Sure,
all that. I
sure.
started with HTML, and I got down the basics, but because of my final year projects and all that, I paused for a bit. So immediately I
Okay.
graduated, I am back to learning and trying to actually properly, what's it called?
Be a web
Um,
developer.
exactly, of potential full time web
Okay.
developer.
Okay.
And of course, I am yet to do my NYSC, but I'm also considering my maybe web development can be a part time. But
Okay.
if there comes along a physical or remote or whatever job that I can actually do with my whatever skills, or let's say my degree, and
Yeah.
then honestly, anything that could actually make money, let me know. Okay, anything legal, let me put it that way for you to
Okay.
understand.
Anything legally. The legal way
Yeah,
of making money.
halal.
That's the halal way of making money. That's really nice. And I wish you all the
Oh
best.
yeah, and sorry to
Okay.
add,
Okay.
I also am into crypto trading,
Hmm.
but I am, let's just say I came to the decision that yes, it is a very, it has a lot of potential, but for now I'm just trying to build actual
Money.
solid like real world skills
Liquidity.
first.
Yeah. So that you can be able to enter it with full chest.
Yes, you can put it that way.
Yeah, and being ready for it's not an all. I think you mentioned web design, you mentioned crypto, and I'm into that space, and I respect the decision of you like wanting a physical skills so that you can be able to be financially okay and also prepare yourself and raise the capital for you to get into crypto because you need capital to be in that industry and enough capital
Yeah,
too.
exactly.
And just like you mentioned web design, your brother here is a web developer. So if you need any help, I can help you with it. And
Okay.
so our audience, I hope you guys are enjoying the conversation so far. We are not done yet. We're actually getting into the interesting parts of the conversation. So we all know that Hussein is a very big fan of anime, just like he mentioned, based on like he used to like his space, being indoor, being alone. He was one of the things that he used to do or loves doing is to watch anime. So Hussein, let's start with your first anime you've ever watched.
It was Bleach, and that was in my SS2, like 2016, 17.
Bleach. I know that we used to watch, maybe watching cartoon won't be it won't be a choice because let's face it, like the reality, everybody will watch cartoon one way or another. As a kid, you eventually get introduced to the cartoon world. But watching anime is kind of different. Is there anybody that puts you on watching anime? Or how did it like how why did you decide, yes, I'm going to watch Bleach?
Yes, I had a very good friend of mine. He's still a very good friend of mine. His name
Okay.
is Sliman,
Shout out to
or
Suleiman.
as we call him,
Okay.
Don Toki or Don C. He
Don't see.
was,
Nice name.
yeah, he would he was my friend. I met him through Abu Turab that I went for my SS2, and he
Okay.
was very into animes, and then he recommended Bleach for me. And the moment I watched Bleach, I was honestly hooked. The moment I started, I was hooked on Bleach. I
Wow.
was a Bleach fanboy for like 2 years. Just even
Which
after I
is
watched the anime, I was just very much in love with everything about the anime.
yeah.
So it was from there. It was that same Sliman or
Yeah.
Donti that was one that was supplying me. He had a hard disk, a PC
Mm.
filled with animes, and he would recommend for me, and I would watch, and I would go back. I would go back. I think up until like last 2 years, he was
Mm.
still my main supplier, and still
Supplier.
he would
Wow.
recommend animes for me.
So that's wholesome. Like I wish I had somebody like I had but Kai watching anime. I used to find it very childish. So not up to maybe last year or yeah, or last 2 years that my brothers were actually watching and they were like, no, you have to watch this thing. Then I had a friend too in school that I used to watch it too, Hussein. His name is Hussein too. Yeah, so shout out to
Okay.
Hussein. And so is there any anime character that you relate to the most?
I won't say I won't say I relate to him per se,
Okay.
but yeah, to an extent or in a way. But at the same time, I guess I shall I say liked him, or I don't know. I don't want to use something along the lines of the lines of role model or anything like that. But I just like his persona.
Okay.
But basically, he was Kuchiki Byakuya from Bleach. His persona was always like cold outside, but he actually cares about people that are close to him and all that. I could
Wow.
relate to that part because
Mm.
people tend to misunderstand again quiet people and all that, and depending on how you even speak, they might say you have pride or
Yeah.
something like that. So that
Yeah.
was somewhat the story of Kuchiki, and up until date, I have people that call me Kuchiki because I liked him that much that
Wow.
I think was it. Yeah, people around me just started calling me Kuchiki.
Kuchiki. And that's very, I don't know, but I like the name. I like the name. Me personally, I've not watched Bleach. And so to our audience out there that have not watched Bleach, how could you convince us to watch the anime?
Well, that's the issue. I don't know how others do it, but if there is someone that asks me this question, the
Mm-hmm.
first thing I always ask is, "What are you into?" Because a
Okay.
lot of people that watch anime
Yeah.
assume what's it called general consensus in the sense that okay, you must love Dragon Ball. Since they like Dragon Ball is just the best anime, and then they will recommend Dragon Ball for you. I have not watched Dragon Ball. I dislike Dragon Ball. I dislike all of Dragon Ball.
Dragon
Say
Ball
this now,
Z.
so everybody that knows me will hear. I dislike all of Dragon Ball. But yes,
Okay.
people would people would assume and then recommend based off those assumptions, not knowing that yes, even in anime there are various categories. There is action, there is something they call shonen,
Wow.
all that romance, rom-com. There is actually variety of everything. And depending on what the person is into, that is how I would recommend. But
Okay.
Bleach is interesting for someone that likes let's say action, plot twist, and heroic, but at the same time demonic main character. That's the best description I can give.
And that's what a description. What a description. So I have a game that I want us to do based off like you like anime. So it's a 1v1 elimination game. I will give you two options, two anime movies for you to choose, or
Okay.
anime shows. I don't really know what to call it. So we're going to start with Solo Leveling or One Piece. The one that you choose will advance to the next question, if you understand what
One
I'm
Piece,
saying.
I beg.
Solo Leveling or One Piece? One Piece.
One Piece.
One Piece or Demon Slayer?
One Piece.
One Piece or Vinland Saga?
One Piece.
One Piece or Jujutsu Kaisen?
One Piece.
One Piece or Death Note?
One Piece.
One Piece or Hunter x Hunter?
One Piece.
One Piece or Dragon Ball Z?
One Piece.
One Piece or Naruto?
One Piece.
One Piece or Attack on Titans?
One Piece.
One Piece or the final one, Bleach?
Oh, haha.
You
Nah, I'll have to say Bleach.
have to say Bleach. So Bleach is the winner. So that's how you highly rate
Yes.
One Piece.
Yeah, like I said, I know this is very contradictory, but like I said, I respect preferences. But no,
Okay.
One Piece is peak, and I'm
One
saying this for everybody. I don't care anybody that likes it or does not like it.
One Piece is peak. So going into the gaming world now, what type of game do you enjoy the most?
Honestly, I enjoy basically two types, which is action, and I
Okay.
mean action like Call of Duty, PUBG, or all this first-person shooter type of action,
Okay.
or strategy, something that gets you to think and you can't just do things in the game without actually considering a lot of things. And
Things.
I've played, I think I've only played like two major strategy games for the long time.
Oh,
There's this Mafia City, and then there's
okay.
chess. Everybody knows chess.
Yeah.
Mafia City is those type of games where you are in a big you're going to build your city, you're going to hire this all those lazy type of games where
I
you
understand.
just I don't know if I'm making sense, but yeah,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
Clash of
yes, you
Clans now.
are. Yes, you are.
Like Clash of Clans now. But Mafia City is more of like you building your own mafia and doing shady deals,
Mm,
negotiating with other players, betraying, colliding, everything, ja.
I understand what you're saying. So, do you play games for competition or for you to escape reality or to have fun?
Honestly, all of the three, but majorly
Okay.
to have fun. But I do not like losing, so you can see, I don't know, but let's just say competition and fun for the most part,
For the
and
most
yes, to
part.
escape reality. Also, it's all three, honestly.
Okay. How do games help mental health? Playing games, like you see a lot of grown men or a lot of men talking about what games actually means to them. Maybe I've come across this trend on TikTok for the past, I think last week. So many people were sharing their own thoughts on how game used to help them, how games help them maybe going through breakup or somebody passing away, grief, and all those things. So, what's your own take on game helping men's mental health?
Honestly, I would say it depends because again, like I said, someone like me, I don't like losing a lot.
Okay,
So sometimes games does a bit more harm than good, and a lot of times you might end
okay,
up crashing out, like legit crashing out when you're just trying to have fun. But yes,
uh,
I definitely get the fun part of it. Let's say me now, I'm the type of person when I was in school, if I have a test or exams,
hmm,
I I don't read very well unless I'm under pressure. But
I
then when the
understand.
pressure comes, and let's say I actually find out like this course is actually bulky or something, or I'm sure feeling pressured,
Okay,
I would find like 10 minutes. So I will just play a quick game just to feel I will come back to being myself, and then I will now continue reading. And sometimes, even if I'm just maybe unhappy or going through stuff or broke or everything self, it works. I
it
would
works.
speak to my guy, my do. He's my do.
Hmm,
We play Call of Duty together.
okay,
Um, he's called King Mo. I will
King
talk to
Mo.
him, and if he's available, we'll go online, and in the process, we are laughing, and yes, it actually does really help with a lot of things.
Wow, that's really good. And for me, I'm not, I don't know how to put it, but I'm not that game person. I don't used to like always play games. But the only game I know that I fell in love with, it's football. So for our viewers, we started with PS2. So we're playing PS2. And the reason why we had the PS2 at first was because of I was going to all these gaming centers to go and play game. My mom would send us to Islamia, Islamic school, and I would dodge it to go and play games. So to the extent that they caught me, so she was not like, why? She would beat me, shout, anything possible that she's going to do it to me. But eventually I'll still go back. So that was when she promised that she's going to buy it for me or for us in general. So that was where we started. And I was only playing PS. I was only playing football games. That's it. So I think it was when your brother came to Jigawa to visit us that time. So it was not like, why are we playing PS2? PS2 is outdated. Blah, blah, blah. They're playing PS3. So then that was when the change now came. So yeah, but I don't used to play any adventure, and I really do
Yeah,
like playing
yeah.
football.
Sorry,
Mm-hmm.
let me add also, football is actually a very, very key part of the games that I play. I completely forgot to mention it.
Oh,
And like you
okay.
probably know, we've also had, I think we literally started from Sega to
Yeah,
Famicom to PS1, PS2, PS3, up until our PS4 now. And
yeah.
what we've mostly played is always also FIFA.
Also,
And
always FIFA.
having played it all these years, it's actually a game I think probably among all the games that I play right now, it's one of the games I know I'm very confident about and I can say yes, I am good at.
Okay. So, what about GTA?
Oh yeah, GTA is a very fun game. I don't think there is a young boy that does not like GTA. Everybody loves GTA.
GTA, for sure.
It's it's that game that gives us that outlet to be, should I say, rascals or rogues or misbehave
Yeah,
without any actual real consequence.
yeah. I understand. So, speaking about GTA, we all know that GTA 6 is about to be released this year, if I'm not mistaken. So, I have
Yeah.
this, what should I call it, game or something. Something's wrong with your background now.
Okay, so can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can. I think it's more clearer now. So, as I was saying, I have this game per se, that it's like this. You are going to guess the amount of money that it costs to make this thing. So let me put it this way. What costs more to make GTA 6 or distance? This is the theme of the game. Are you with me?
Oh, yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, what costs more to make? So what costs more
Okay.
between GTA 6 or the list of things I'm going to mention? and you're going to
Okay.
give me a maybe not accurate, not the exact amount, but just give it a guess. So the number one option is what costs more to make, GTA 6 or the invention of the first iPhone?
Definitely GTA 6.
The GTA 6. Can you give me a number of the invention of the first iPhone that you choose GTA 6 over?
Like when you say invention, do you mean like wholesale? Like
No,
the entire
no.
process?
Yeah, the entire process of getting the iPhone, of making the first iPhone, the money that it costs to make the first iPhone.
I don't know. I think I would say like 20K grands, like in dollars. I think that's
20K.
generous.
Yeah, let me make it easier. If you get it right, I'll tell you the amount. So the invention of the first iPhone cost $150 million.
Oh,
Yeah. So are you still going with the GTA 6?
yes, definitely.
So yeah, you got that one right. The second option is GTA 6 or Aston Martin entire company.
That's an interesting one.
Okay.
Um, I'll still have to go with GTA 6 because I know GTA 6 is counting in, I think, double digits in
The,
billions of dollars.
okay. So Aston Martin entire company is $860 million. You still got it right. GTA 6 is worth more than that. So the GTA 6 or the Pentagon. You know the Pentagon. The Pentagon is the government is the Department of Defense, headquarters of U.S. Department of Defense, because a lot of money used to go into the Pentagon every year. So which one cost more, GTA 6 or
I
the
would,
Pentagon? You know, US used to
I
spend
would
a
say
lot
that,
of money in military,
yes,
all this defense
yes,
and stuff. So yeah,
yes. That's why I'm going to go for the Pentagon.
the Pentagon.
I even logically, I wouldn't know what we are doing if a game cost more than someone's defense system.
Are you sure? You're going with the Pentagon?
Yeah, I'll go with the Pentagon.
So you got it wrong. GTA 6
Wow.
cost more than the Pentagon. The Pentagon is estimated to have to almost $1.2 billion, which GTA 6 is $2 billion evaluated within that range, $2 billion. So that's the end of the game. GTA 6 actually costs a lot of money, which
Wow.
hopefully is going to be released this year. That's what I heard from the report. So we've talked about anime, we've talked about games, and Alhamdulillah, like I'm really enjoying the conversation so far. Which, to my surprise, is that this is actually the longest episode I've had. And if you could have asked me maybe before we started the episode, I'd be like, no, it won't be that long. So thank you for like participating. Well, I know it's not easy. This is the first time like
Yo,
we're having this type of conversation. So I want to change the angle a little bit to focus more on music now. I know from status that you love The Weeknd. You don't usually used to post, but most of your posts are about The Weeknd. So why The Weeknd out of all the artists?
well, honestly, it's the should I say I relate the most. I mean, it's also happened per chance. My
Okay.
brother Alhassan also influenced me a lot as to why I like the Weeknd. He was at some point also obsessed with him,
Wow.
but then initially it was just the I think the melody or something of a certain song he will play back then.
Okay.
Of a certain song he will play back then. But then I
Okay.
actually started like looking into him as an artist and then going through his lyrics and actually just from there I really related. I think the first song of his that I really liked was Acquainted, and then there is often those two songs, and then The
Okay.
Hills. I think a lot of people know The Hills.
Oh,
I
hey.
would I don't know. I have not been in situations like that, but
Mm-hmm.
his lyrics were just
So
very
touching.
yes, it's connected with me a lot. His lyrics, the way he sings them, and yes, from there, I think in my own case, I started liking him like a year or two, or let's say a year before his major transformation during Starboy. So when
Oh,
Starboy
okay.
happened, he
Yeah.
got a lot more fans, and in my
Yeah.
own case, I become a much bigger fan.
Of his.
yes, of his
Okay,
and
no.
his music.
Yeah, it's understandable. I actually like some of his songs. I'm not a music guy, but I like The Weeknd too, and I like most of his songs. So what's your favorite song of The Weeknd and why is it your favorite?
That's a very, very wicked question. But
If you could choose
if
one,
I'm to choose
yeah.
from all of his songs, it would have to be. I'll need a minute. I'm coming.
Okay. Take your time.
I will say. I'll say wasted times.
Wasted Times.
Yes, it's
Hmm.
from his. Not an album. It's an EP.
Okay.
My Dear Melancholy. It's on the
Wow.
same album with Call Out My Name and the likes.
Call out my name. Wow.
Exactly.
Okay, that's good. Do you have any parts or a song that you can sing for our audience so that they'll know that a true Wicked fan?
Um, I'm hiding my singing talents from the world as of now. But if you want me to like read out the lyrics, I can. I can do that much.
Okay. So
So,
anyone you want to, just to show our audience that you're a real fan.
all right. I will go with wasted times, the one
O-
that I just said.
Yeah.
So it goes like this:
Okay.
wasted times I spent with someone else. She wasn't even half of you. Um, and even though you put my life through hell, I can still never bring myself to forget about you.
Wow. Wow. What a powerful lyrics. Can you hear me?
And I think I'm most likely forgetting some lines, but from there he proceeds to ask, and now I'm asking, who do you
Oh,
belong to now? Who do you
oh,
give all that love to now? Who you
okay.
pulling up on? And what does that person have that I do not have?
Wow.
Because I know I have a lot. And
Uh-uh.
that's like halfway through the lyrics. And the song, I related to it a lot at a certain period in my or phase in my life, and
Okay.
it has been that way ever since.
That's really nice. The Weeknd is a really good artist. I like him, and I think so many people relate to his song. And so yeah, we're saying to our viewers, I think this will be the last segment of our episode. But definitely, I have. Let me put it this way: I have two more questions to ask you.
All
Then
right.
um, that would be the end of the episode. So, what is something you are still trying to figure out about yourself in life? Be more broad. Something you're trying to figure out in life. Is there something you're still trying to figure out in life? It could be about yourself. It could be about maybe career or maybe something or death or spiritually. It can be emotion. Everything. Is there something that you're trying to figure out? You're still trying to figure out. You find it very difficult to be like, yeah, I want to know more about this thing. Or maybe you know it's surface level and you're interested in it. Is there anything?
I don't. I can't say I have. I can. I'm thinking of anything right now because I research a lot. If I am curious,
Okay.
I try as much as possible to get answers. But if there is something that yes, I am still trying to figure out, it will definitely be what's the fuck exactly the purpose of sociology as a course is.
Okay. So I hope you find the answer and come back on the pod and tell us one day. So the last question would be if you could send a message to people who feel alone or misunderstood, what would you tell them?
I will tell them honestly, no matter what you do, there is always going to be a segment or part of people that will still misunderstand you ultimately at the end of everything. And no matter what you do, people
Okay.
will still whatever they like also because that's the irony. You are trying to we are worrying about people, but the people are not worrying about you. I don't know if
About
that
you.
makes sense.
It
They do
makes
what they
sense.
like, but you are inconveniencing yourself for the people. And ultimately, those same people can literally turn their back on you and then fuck you over. And then everything that you've done, and
Mm.
everything that they will do to you,
Mm.
and the consequences and everything you have to bear alone afterwards is really just not worth it.
Mm.
And just unapologetically choose yourself.
Wow.
Choose yourself over and over and over and over again, and you really, really regret it.
Wow, that's a powerful message. That's a powerful advice. So, to our audience, conversation like this remind me that not everyone who is quiet has nothing to say. Sometimes they just haven't been asked the right questions. So, huge thank you to my brother Husseini for coming on the show. If you enjoyed this episode, share it, comment, and follow the show. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. This is 3M with Abdul. Real conversation, real perspective, real people. Husseini, any final words?
Honestly, it was very nice being here. It was very, very nice. And some questions I've also not really thought about, but being asked really got me to think about certain things. And yes, you should like and subscribe.
Thank you so much for being on the pod. This is the longest episode I've done so far. It's nothing, it's all because of you or because of the way you open up and the way you were interacting. So thank you so much. See you in the next episode. Thank you. This is the end of the pod.